There's something very fascinating on this fellow that was measured. And what he said was the Confucius people had this saying from way back when, that the people closest to you, first of all, are the ones that will treat you the most. So pay attention to that. Because they're very, very close together, especially family members. And then as it goes out like circles, it doesn't matter so much. But these people here that are really close to you, probably even next to you for from lifetimes ago, that you need to work something out together. Tug of war. It's gotta, it works on the ego. And the other thing that he said, which I found was very fascinating, was that if you want to know how well you're doing, take a note of how the people are around you. Have they changed for the better? Because you have a great deal of influence on what's around you. So if you're doing well inside and progressing spiritually, you will influence the people around you positively. And so all you have to do is take note of how well they're doing and get a sense of where you're at. That's what he pointed out. And that's not his thinking, it's the Confucius people that came up with this interesting note. And so that's just kind of an aside that I wanted to share, pass on. And I'm going to play a tune now by Papaji, who is Ramana Mahari's direct disciple, Papaji. Muji is a disciple of Papaji. Papaji is an Indian, and he also says something very interesting in this tape, and I wonder if you're going to pick it up. But definitely I will let you know what it is at the end of the tape. Very interesting. Never heard this before, but in line with what my experience has been, which is that the self, I used to call it way in the beginning, I said it's like a spiritual law that wants you, but it depends whether you want it. If you want it, then you will be drawn. You will be drawn. You will be guided. So he puts it in a different way, which I've never heard before, and I want to share that too. So let's play that, and he's not very exciting to listen to, but more than just focus on what he has to say.
Silence. Purpose of all the practices, ethics whatsoever, is silence. peace, quietude, and silence.
Quietude.
So, silence is your real nature, and without silence, you cannot be at peace. Whatever you do, any kind of activity, on the ground, on the base of that activity, you should see it is silence. Whenever you are happy, with some gain, you will see you are happy in the gain because now your mind is silent on account of gaining anything. So you have to strive only for silence. And this is the purpose that we are here to keep quiet and observe silence, even while active. Even while active, you can be silent. Body can be active, yet you can remain silent. Because unless you are silent, you cannot activate yourself. This command is coming from the silence, even to activate your body. If you are attached, if you are conscious of this silence, which is your substratum always, and you will feel this is your fundamental nature, and this we are striving for. For this silence, we are how to keep quiet. The main teaching of Maharishi, Ramana Maharishi, was only silence. Whosoever came to him and questioned, he was silent. So some people who were not satisfied with this silence, and their mind, their thoughts later on were arrested, and they found that this silence is silently answering their questions. The only teaching I believe is silence. And in the beginning also, you have been silent. The world, the universe would have been silent, and everyone is returning to silence. And this disturbance is of the mind, therefore we are not happy. So we have to train this mind to return to silence. When it will go to silence, the mind, the senses, intellect, as Kabir says, he starts with body. Keep your body quiet, mind quiet, intellect quiet, and even your pranas quiet, and then you will see the wisdom will follow behind you, searching you. This is how he described. The wisdom will follow behind you, searching for you. This is how he used to say, because he was illiterate saint of India. He was not educated. So his language was only like this thing. Let us not run after freedom, enlightenment. It will keep quiet, it will follow us, searching us. Oh, wise man, wait, I am here, what do you want? And many other saints, you see, they have stressed much on silence. this silence is your nature. How do you silent? Direct your mind towards its source. Direct your mind towards its source, and you are silent. When we direct the mind to our desired object, there starts the problem, tensions, difficulties of life. The same mind which is directed towards an object of the senses, same mind now has to be trained to look at its source, at its own substratum, from where does it rise and you are quiet. And this is the aim that we are here. And this is our freedom, that's all. Freedom is not available somewhere else in the mountains, nor in the caves, nor even in the books. It is here and now. Simply direct the mind. Mind is thought. There is no difference between thought and mind. Mind is bundle of thoughts. So pick up this thought, and prime thought is I thought, on which the whole world depends on just I thought. When we speak I, everything arises. So this I has to face towards its source, and you are quiet. And this is about practice also, sadhana also, meditation also, austerities also, and you will find that instantly you are free. Because we have not been able to devote even this moment, in this second, this instant, for the happiness, therefore, we are in trouble. If it is happiness, if it is peace, it has to be very simple and very near to, and that we don't give thought to. Now is the time. Direct the mind towards its source, call it at the Atma. In the books, the word Atma is used. Direct the mind towards the Atma, we call it substratum, we translate also as the source. Let this I self its source, where does it rise from? Where does this wave rise from? And you are happy. Surely you are at home. It is the simplest to be happy, it is the simplest of everything that is available in the world to do. So this is called Satsang. To direct the mind towards its source, this is called Satsang. Because you are at home. You are in a holy company of the self, of your own self. It's called Satsang, holy association. Most holy association is to stay wherever you are. Don't disturb yourself. Wherever you are, that is the holiest association. And this is about realization, self-realization, freedom, enlightenment, whatever name you give. And it's not that what you can call, what you can imagine, what you have attained, it is simply not that, something very new, very fresh, and you are going to have it for the first time. This is going to be your first meeting with your own self. You may have met name and form. Millions of years you have been meeting names and forms, even now. If the question is asked to you, have you seen anyone without name and form? I don't think you can give me an answer. Whatever you think, maybe object, thing, person, you can't provide name and form. And if you set someone without name and without form, this is going to be the most happy occasion in your life. And you very well recognize this moment that it is you, and it is you. Be quiet, do not think. Don't exert either, and it is you. Don't start a thought. Don't waver. Don't doubt about your majesty. Don't doubt. And you are this. So simple, isn't it? He who will find it will know that he is found it. He who has done it, he will know that he has done it.
If you're silent, you can't get in trouble.
Consciousness alone is the substratum.
If you're in silence, you can't get in trouble. That's what I got. That's right. If you're in silence, inner silence, meaning you've got no, you're not following the thoughts. Right. So just simply, that's very simple. That's what he said in the word. It's very simple. But see if you can do it. No, but I mean really, you can do it. After a while, you can do it within silence. And change really happens from the inside out. Change happens from the inside out. Meaning, you are influenced by this formless consciousness that can come through the master or directly from the reality. It will influence you. It will, you change first at that level, that deep level, and then it percolates up, and you notice it in your actions. It's a very profound statement. Last night I was listening to this fellow, and their approach, the Confucius approach, is to examine yourself, to analyze where you trip up. And when you analyze it, then you can get to the very root. You can find the root, and by seeing what causes the misidentification with the mind, which jerks you, into the outer world, and then you could stop that by seeing where it originates from. However, it goes on and on and on with that. You can go on for a long, long time working on this problem and that problem and that problem and to the origin. But he is saying directly, go into silence. Do not give credence to the mind or to the thought. Do not say the thoughts are my thoughts, and therefore I've got to work this out. They're just passing by, they're not yours. They don't belong to you. We've just decided from a very young age that we identify with it, Say we've developed a certain way of behaving, then we think it belongs to us. This is who we are. But it's not true. We've just subscribed to an idea for a long time about what we are, who we are. And these objects of the mind, these thoughts of the mind, are just simply passing. You want to latch onto one, go right ahead. Doesn't belong to you. We are pure, formless being, without boundaries. We are pure being, consciousness, without, that's in our essence, that is. And it's easy to understand, but it's something we have to work on. But when you enter into that silence, and he calls it holy, it really has a flavor of holiness. When we stay in that quietude, and it's not empty. Maybe it's empty, but then it's alive. There's a certain purity in that. I bet nobody came across what I found most fascinating about what he said.
He was hard to understand too.
Yeah, because of the accent. Huh? More? Because of the accent? Maybe, I don't know. The other is Indian speech.
I think that your heart is what is holy, what is there, and if you revert your mind to the heart, that would be a kind of silence that you have, and the true thinking, the true feeling is what you feel in your heart.
Yes.
And you would find that in those moments or times you're silent.
God is love. God is silence. It's just another way of expressing the formless, which has, I think at its essence, is love. I think at its essence it's love, more than anything else. But what I found fascinating about this was what he said, that Ramana Maharshi had said, was that wisdom will follow behind you. You don't have to seek. Wisdom will automatically and will fill your being when you don't run after freedom, when you don't run after enlightenment, when you're not trying to seek. It will be there, behind you, guiding you, because you want it. So, but we never did that. We were, I was always seeking enlightenment, seeking. and so many mystics do that. We seek, we try to find the answer to this amazing mystery of God and enlightenment, freedom. But if we just stopped seeking, the wisdom is right there, guiding. We don't need to be seeking. In other words, it's right there, following, as it were. So we don't have to run after freedom. Wisdom will follow. So he's saying, direct the mind towards its source, then you are silent. What does that really mean? What does it mean? What do you actually do when you're directing your mind to its source?
Trying to get an answer.
No, if you, it's not, you're trying to find the source of, you're trying to find who you are, is what I'm trying to do. I'm sorry I didn't bring that back today. I don't have to do that every time, because I don't know if you are. I forgot, I should put it as part of my reminder thing. So, you're taking your attention and you're taking it upstream of the thoughts. You're moving into silence, essentially. You're moving back away from the thoughts, detaching from the thought, and moving into silence. And then asking yourself who you are, and you're not going to find an answer. You are the silence. There is nobody there. There's nobody there. And that silence is actually very powerful. It's very reality. It's the very love that we seek. Unconditional love. That we seek to have towards all beings and towards oneself. I'll interject one thing about physical pain right here. Because they're downstream in the awareness that's aware of the thoughts. The awareness is in silence. It's pregnant. It's powerful. It's the God that resides in everything, that is everything. So true change that happens from the inside out. And I'm reminded now as I say this that the Maharshi said they give a little push from without, a little pull from within. So the push from without is the experiences that you have. You know, tailor-made just for you. Truly, I mean, that's the power itself. It's tailor-made for you. Where is it that you trip up on? We all trip up on different things. And so there you have it. And especially with close family, you have it. It's right there. There for you to see, and there for you to transcend, and therefore for you to go inward into the silence. And when you get into the silence, you feel the whole mind. It's really quite amazing. yes, that's the name of that book. Adams, Robert Adams, The Silence of the Heart. We all have that same, everybody has that same understanding one way or another. They all come to that realization. So we're not making this up. As we go along, it's really true. The silence of the heart.
Gives you a freedom of the mind.
Yeah. Yeah, it gives you, it allows your mind to settle down. Coming from, gosh, I don't really want to keep on talking about my own personal experience, but there is an incredible grace that goes on behind the scenes here. You don't need to worry that you're not getting it. You get tremendous help. You're getting tremendous help. I recently, a few days ago, I wrote to the Master. All my questions have faded away, except I had one question still. That question was, I've gotten quite comfortable and I'm not meditating anymore. And I said, but maybe I should meditate for the sake of others. Right away he wrote back and said, you keep meditating and make sure that you're not, until all misidentification has gone away. Until all misidentification has gone away. So you might miss some stuff that you're doing. He immediately brought it up for me. That I had gotten annoyed with my brother. And I kind of slough over it, even now, and I say to myself, I'm free. I'm free. I'm not troubled by my coming back at him with a response of something that was a little bit short with him. I was a little bit short with him. And I let it go. I let it go. I just didn't care that I had been short with him. I was okay with it. But when I wrote to the Master and he wrote back about misidentification, I said, that thing that I let go of, that I didn't think much of, my being short with my brother, should be attended. It shouldn't be like that. I mean, there are shoulds and shoulds. I don't like to put it in a should, but if the being wants to be in absolute silence, then that is not admissible within that framework. Silence. Total peace and non-reactivity. So, and then what happened after that? I was immediately aware of this, immediately talk about it with the Master. I was not shying away from it, unless it was pointed out to me. Once he said you're misidentifying still, until every trace of misidentification is gone, never to return again. And the reason having a teacher and having tremendous respect for the teacher is how you can use that to help yourself. Whatever he has said to me, I've always respected tremendously. It brings me up short, and I'm willing to look at where I misidentify and say, okay, you were misidentified there, even though you've gone along thinking it's all right and you're free and it's okay to be this way. It's not that earth-shattering. But it is, if we want to develop an inner absolute alliance with the self, which is pure consciousness, absolutely pure. It is something to be looked at. And having acknowledged this and seen it, today I'm just like feeling what that's like. It's like something new. In other words, the deeper, moving into a deeper strata of the silence, as it were, deeper into God. I can feel that today. I feel that the tremendous difference. So, just letting you know, I think my experiences are valuable. I hope. Any comments, questions?
You're going to have something next week to Easter Sunday.
Oh, yes. Yes.
I'll have to
Huh?
listen. I will have to listen.
You have to miss. Okay.
I'm gone.
You're gone too?
Yeah, I'll be the singing.
Okay. Anybody else?
I'm here. I'm going to
Who am I?
Santa Barbara with my son's family.
Well, I'll let you know if I don't have it next Sunday. There's just going to be one person.
You got the look, girl.
Whatever you want, I don't care. It's not only one person that looks ridiculous. And I don't think you're Erica has, you don't know who you're right now.
Well, I don't know. I have to see what if Erica is going to come, then we can have two people on the board.
Her mother is in the hospital.
Yes, that would be so now I'll play that little punch on teaser. If you want to hear it now,
And we're going to slip out because I'm going to get
too much.
Yes.
Everybody, you can leave if you want to. I don't know what, this time you can leave.
They're giving us permission.
I'm giving permission. Because he heard it last week, and so did Stella.
I didn't.
No,
You didn't hear it? Oh. Okay.
slip out.
Have a nice Easter. Have a nice trip next week.
Everything that exists in the universe. Whatever you see, mountain, river, forest,
This is called struggle with chronic physical pain.
good.
We talked a lot about mental struggles and how we run into so many blocks dealing with our mind. And you make reference to checking in with your body.
Yes.
And I'm wondering if you can talk a little bit about some of the struggles that we have physically.
Physically, what sense?
I just deal with a lot of chronic pain, and then coming to this kind of setting, then of course, repeated sittings, creates a lot of pain.
Oh, I saw this. You
saw
that?
Yeah.
The suffering part, pain is pain. There's no necessarily getting away from pain. Suffering is something different than pain. Very important to realize. Suffering is what's caused by resistance. And very often, an immense amount of our physical pain is actually caused by unconscious resistance to experiencing physical pain. I want you to start to see the resistance to pain, because the resistance to pain is also comes through the body as attention. Body does this, right? It tenses in pain, which is that's your physical way of resisting.
Very good. I'm a dentist.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, have a nice
This
evening,
way we react.
but I'll see you
And
Wednesday.
then mentally, of course, it goes on. Oh God, I can't possibly do anything. But tomorrow, the week there, it goes into the future. That's another form of resistance. But start to notice the difference between pain and suffering.
And I feel like there's a connection for me, a lot of my stillness. There seems like there's a detachedness, and it seems like there's a connection there, where I have a detached sense to my body. And then, so I've heard you speak before about vividness in meditation. And it feels like there's a connection to that between me, or for me, between having more of that drab experience versus something that's more vivid.
Yeah. Well, the stillness that has any sort of resistance in it is going to be sort of dry. A stillness that's being used as a means to not experience something else, as a refuge, anywhere, whether overtly or subtly, that will cause a that is a sort of dual stillness. But then there's a different stillness, which isn't being used as a refuge at all, as a means not to experience or anything. It's just the already present stillness, which isn't a refuge, which isn't a escape, which isn't in opposition. It's just, oh, it is here. This awareness is stillness. It's vivid. I don't mean vivid that means like, you feel like you're plugged into an electric socket and you're, just like rage shining out from that. That's not the vividness I'm speaking of. I use the word vividness as just as a contrast between, drowsy, half-drugged, evasive silence. You want to feel there's a difference there. It's almost like you feel this in your body. There's a way of being still, which is almost like it's like a leaning back. It's almost like the witness position. You can almost, even if your body didn't move, you almost feel like a backward movement. And that's a certain type of stillness, and a certain type of witnessing. But that eventually has a dryness to it. Then there's a stillness, if you almost like lean forward, you lean into. And that stillness is bright. Not screaming bright, but it's just bright, it's vivid, it's present, it's here, it's now. It's also detached in the sense that it's not hung up in the goo, but it's detached right in the midst of anything. And you can literally feel the difference if you sit in your seat. You can sort of go back, and it's sort of, you can just feel yourself disappearing in sort of the transcendent, and very spacey and very, pleasant, but if you hang out there too much, all of a sudden it gets a little dry, it starts to dry up on you. And then you just lean forward a little bit, and it's just like coming out of a fog. It's your presence. So check it out a little bit. And see that the pain is one thing, but the suffering is just a resistance to pain. And just start to notice it. Don't try to get in there and change it and everything. Just start to notice, it's just not necessary. It's just not necessary to resist some pain. It's not necessary, and it doesn't help. All right. Anything else? Okay. Yeah. Okay, this time.
I think that's because what he's saying right there is, he's saying not to resist the pain, not to resist it. In other words, to accept it and to move into it in a way, moving forward into it, rather than dwell on it. Well, definitely, if you're going to dwell on it, you're dwelling on it, and you're also tightening up. You're resisting it. It's running you, as it were. And when I said that about love, that is kind of, I don't think we put the note out there. We forgot to put the note out. Anyway, it's allowing, it's moving into it, it's like flowing with it, relaxing into it, relaxing into it. It's heavy. And then you're adding the suffering on top. And what he's saying is that a lot of the pain is aggravated by that kind of thoughts and add-ons. But at the end of that tape, he's saying, but yet be kind to yourself. Be sensitive to yourself, he also said. And if it's a screaming pain, then do drugs. That's what I say. Do drugs if it's not bad. A lot of pain you can move through and allow and surrender. You can use it as a spiritual practice, but some of it, like when I had that horrible injury to do all that, there's no way I could have done anything about that, and I very much appreciated the drugs.
That's true. All right, I will be here Wednesday.
Okay.
I have a 2 o'clock dentist appointment.
Okay.
And Sunday, if I don't hear from you, then forget it.
Oh, okay. If you don't need me.
But,
I'll let you know one way or another.
Yeah, okay.
If we've got it, and whether Erica will be.
yeah, well, it's Easter. I mean, we don't celebrate it, so.
Yeah.
Do you celebrate it with your brother?
No. That's interesting. Maybe yes. This
So-
time.
What? Just cancel it.
Just cancel it.
Yeah.
And I'll just tell Erica.
Yeah, because
It's Easter.
it's Easter.
Okay.
All right. So a week from Wednesday, I'll see you.
So, very good then.
Now, you don't have to-
No, I might. Because Erica missed this Sunday, I'll really want to ask her if she wants to come, if she can come, or if it's something that they do, because she may be outside of that a little bit.
Yeah, but if you celebrate it with your family, I mean, your brother's here, Okay. you do whatever,
Well, you know, the most important thing to me is that we have satsang. But if Erica's not gonna come, I think,
Yeah.
then we won't have it. But if she is gonna come.
okay, so just call, if I'm not, I'll leave a message, one
I'll
way
leave
or the
a
other.
message to let you know one way or another whether we are having or not.
Okay, all right,
Okay.
thanks.
Okay.
And as soon as your brother leaves, we'll go out for lunch.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, okay.
all right, thanks.
Bye.